how we use social media has to be changed, honestly. I think we're so focused on consuming content to get that dopamine rush or to cure your boredom that we kind of forget that, like, we should be out there using our gifts and our talents to create. I know me, for instance, I have this bad habit of getting bored of scrolling through Instagram mindlessly and then swiping out of Instagram just to open it again as if it's like a reflex. Or I might hop off of Instagram and then hop onto YouTube. And if not YouTube, then TikTok. And it's so bad because it's like when you think about it from like a honing your craft perspective, um, that hour that you spent on watching somebody else's content, you could have used, or I could have used, on improving my own content or working on a video and stuff like that. Or even reading a book. I know, for instance, sometimes I think about it, I'm like, dang, like, I don't have enough time in like my day, especially like if I have work, to sit down and read the Bible. But like, I got home, I ate, probably went on social media for a long time before I did like stuff that I wanted to do for myself. And it's like, I could definitely spare some time if I cut out all that fluff from like social media. So I don't know, like it's really bad. And the problem is some of these algorithms are so good that it makes it so addicting and it's hard to put the phone down and stuff like that. Man, all I'm gonna say is our parents were right. Personally, hey, this might be a little crazy depending on who hears it, but I think the older generation is also getting hit with that too. I seen the way some of y'all be scrolling too. It's crazy. It's not too far off from what we do. Um, but yeah, so I personally started putting timers in place. Like every 15 minutes, I get a reminder like, hey, you've been on YouTube for 15 minutes now. You should probably take a break. Now, mind you, I might ignore the timer and then the next timer comes up, but at least that way I'm a bit more conscious about how much time I'm really spending on the internet. Because yeah, like an hour will go like that, you know like you take a break to blow off some steam, but like it's for way too long. It's for way too long, especially like for me. Like, I have a bunch of videos that I like to make and try to make and stuff, but it's hard to fit all that in, especially with new ideas and feeling overwhelmed. But then I'm also taking in content and stuff like that. That's not helpful. It's like there's so many other productive things I could be doing. By all means, like, I feel like I don't have any time when I get home. Like, I only have a limited amount of time, and that's like eating, showering, getting my stuff ready for work the next day and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh well, like, I didn't finish this at the time I wanted to, but you know, maybe I could cut into my sleep schedule and just to get it done. But it's like maybe instead of being on, the internet for like an hour, I could have just gone to bed an hour earlier or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. And then another thing is like, like it's just there has to be a better way of um going about scrolling through like TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. I remember when I was like making like 3 videos a day at a time, back when I had the free time. I wouldn't just watch videos just to watch them. I would think from like a creator perspective, like, all right, I'm scrolling through, seeing what makes me laugh, seeing what I find funny, seeing what's interesting and entertaining, seeing what catches my eye, what's trending and stuff like that, and I would incorporate that into the content I was putting out there. which is like, like, yeah, still scrolling, but at least I'm making it worthwhile. It's contributing to something. It's contributing to an extra post or something like that. Um, and yeah, and just like seriousness. I think another thing is like, um, don't pick up your phone like bright and early in the morning. Like that should not be the first thing you do when you wake up. I could see why like people have certain like mindsets and routines and stuff like that that they have to follow to get their day started. Because it's like, um, I wake up early. I hop on social media or like I might watch some YouTube videos or even a show or something like that. And I'm thinking like, oh well, I woke up a bit earlier than usual. I could use this time to just like, unwind and get my mind right and stuff like that. And then like once it hits the usual time, I like to do my work on my off days. Then, you know, get straight to it. But like that's not a proper way to start your day. I think personally it makes more sense to like once I wake up, like, start my day at the time and then just go from there. Because I don't know, it's just too many different opportunities for you to succeed, but social media is eating away at that. Any form of distraction is eating away at that. Let's be honest. Um, I don't know. It's just a, they did a good job of creating these algorithms, and we're trying to game the system, but whole time they're gaming us too, because whether we make the content and have other people consume it or we're the consumers, regardless, someone high above is getting paid. And there's absolutely, well, no, there is something we can do about it. We all have to take these steps to build ourselves up and also cut out the excess, basically. I'm going to start looking at social media and stuff like that under a different kind of lens, and thinking of it like, okay, in terms of like finances, right? You have your investments, which is you putting in time into your content and stuff like that, and then you also have your debts or your unnecessary expenses and stuff, which would definitely be you, say like consuming content instead. Like, yeah, not everything is bad. There's good debts, there's bad debts and stuff like that, which, I mean, I guess good debts are more so investments if they work out, right? I mean, I'm not really a financial advisor, but I hope the sentiment was met. um but yeah, so it's like, how do I cut down on all these unnecessary expenses, i.e., how much content I consume on a daily basis, and increase the number of investments, which would be me actually putting my time and energy into making those posts. It's like a yin yang type thing where I have the time dedicated for me, time dedicated for others, and then time that's pretty much just wasted. Which wasted could definitely be fun, which I guess isn't really a waste. But like, nah, if it's just mindless scrolling, because it's like half the time I don't really remember like what I watched. Now, unless I go back, you know, to look for a certain video or something like that, then I'm like, okay, yeah, I remember seeing this and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's like everything's just going in. My brain's overcrowded, and I have no space for anything else. And it's so easy to just open up the app and check, even like, checking the likes, the comments, the view counter going up and stuff like that. It's like a dopamine rush and it's so addicting. But it's like, let's be for real, as a small creator, how big is, one of my posts going to go within the span of like 30 minutes, an hour or so? No shade or no diss to myself or any like small creators out there, but it's like, as it's not a priority if I check it here versus then. Unless I'm checking the analytics, then different story. obviously, because I'm looking for something to help me improve on the next videos. But for what it's worth, nah, it's, not really. It's just, more time added or more time wasted that could have been used for something else. Even like it's so easy to just scroll. I watch something for 3 seconds. I don't like it. Scroll, move on to the next one. Instagram's explore page, especially because it's like there's so many different options for stuff I could scroll through to look at and stuff like that. Like it's pretty bad, especially if I go open the app with the best intentions of like looking for like some content that I want to like download and use, and then forgetting why I even opened the app, and then going back to doom scrolling. So it's like, when does it end? Why does the cycle keep repeating itself? I just just got to be more intentional about it. I'll definitely lock in.